What can DTC genetic tests tell about human evolution? Imagine being able to peek into the distant past just by looking at your DNA. That's what direct-to-consumer genetic tests can do when it comes to understanding human evolution. These tests analyze your genetic material to give clues about where your ancestors came from and how humans have changed over thousands of years. They compare your DNA to data from different populations around the world and even ancient human relatives. One of the main things these tests reveal is biogeographical ancestry. They estimate which parts of the world your ancestors likely lived in by comparing your DNA to genetic data from various groups. This helps paint a picture of your ancestral origins, showing regions like Europe, Africa, or Asia. But remember, these results are based on probabilities, not exact facts. Different companies might give slightly different answers because they use different reference data. Also, human genetic variation is continuous, so these results don't put people into strict categories. Instead, they show a spectrum of ancestral backgrounds. Another fascinating aspect is the presence of DNA inherited from ancient humans like Neanderthals and Denisovans. Some DTC tests report the percentage of your DNA that comes from these archaic species. For example, many non-African populations carry about 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA. Certain groups, like Melanesians, have more Denisovan DNA. These ancient DNA fragments can influence traits like hair texture, height, immune response, and adaptation to high altitudes. But it's important to note that having archaic DNA doesn't mean you are more evolved or stronger. It's just a remnant of our shared history with these ancient humans. These tests also help us understand how populations migrated and evolved over time. They detect subtle genetic differences among groups, reflecting processes like natural selection, genetic drift, and migration patterns. This information helps trace how humans spread across the globe and adapted to different environments. However, the resolution of these insights depends on the quality of the reference data and the genetic markers analyzed. While DTC genetic tests are mainly used for discovering ancestral origins and ancient DNA, they don't provide detailed information about current health risks or hereditary diseases. Their primary value is in showing us how humans have evolved and moved through history. It's a way to connect with our past and see the genetic threads that tie us to ancient relatives. Remember, interpreting these results should be done with caution, as they are estimates based on available data. In summary, DTC genetic tests can tell us about human evolution by estimating where our ancestors came from, revealing inherited DNA from ancient humans, and showing how populations have changed over time. These insights help us understand the story of human migration and adaptation, giving us a glimpse into our shared history. But they don't tell us much about individual health or physical traits beyond a few influences from ancient genes.